Hi there, good day to everyone. Welcome to another video tutorial in engineering drawing. And today we will be talking about plotting drawing in paper source or layout source. Let's begin. Say for example, I have here our sample drawing. Now, we will plot this drawing and save it as PDF as our output. Now, how will you do it in your layout source? As you can see here, we have our layout tabs. We have layout 1, we have layout 2, or you can add here another layout, as much layouts as you like. All you have to do is to click this plus sign here for a new layout. Going back to our layout 1, as you can see, I already plot this drawing in my paper. We will do the same with our example later on. To start with, let's go to our layout 2. Usually, I rename my layout here so that I will not be confused with what type of paper I'm using here in my layout. To rename it, all you have to do is to right click on the layout tab here and then click rename. In this layout, I want to rename it as A4. A4 because we will be using A4 size paper in our plotting this drawing. And then enter. As you can see, I already renamed this layout as A4. You can also rename, say for example, this layout. I will rename it as A3 if you want your layout to be saved or plot in an A3 paper. Later on, we will have an example with this one. And then enter. Let's go back to our A4 size paper. Again, just like what I've said, we will have this example as we will have our drawing, this drawing as our example for today. Let's go back to our layout source. Now, you have to consider two things in plotting the layout. What are those two things? First is the paper size and orientation, and next is the drawing itself, or the what we call viewports. We will talk about those viewports later on. Now, the first thing you want to do here in our plotting or in our paper is to make sure that your paper will be the same as with the paper that you want to plot your drawing into. So first thing you want to do is to delete this existing viewports here. All you have to do is to click that viewport and then just delete it. Now, we are left here with our paper. This white rectangle here will be your paper. As you can see, it has its border or default border or margin with it. Now we want or we don't want this default border. So we want to extend our drawings until the edges of our paper. But the question is, we don't know yet the size of this paper, although we rename it as A4. So what you are gonna do is to page or command page setup. And then enter. And then you will, or the page setup manager window will appear like this. So we want to modify our A4 layout right here. So A4 layout is highlighted, and then all you have to do is to modify. Now we have several things to change here, starting with our printer or plotter. Now if you have available printer connected to your computer or your laptop, all you have to do is to select that printer, but in this case we don't have any printer available. All we have to do is to save it as PDF file. So it has DWG or drawing to PDF file. All you have to do is to click here and it will be changed to drawing to PDF. That's one. Next is the paper size and orientation. When it comes to paper size, all you have to do is to click it here. The default for this is the ISO A4, which has a dimension of 210 by 297 millimeters. All you have to do is to click here and you will be given a set of different types of paper size, and orientation, of course. Now, in this case, we want to have our ISO full bleed A4 297 by 210 millimeters. As you can see, as I click this option, our page setup here or our paper here was changed to this orientation, 297 by 210 millimeters. Later on, we will explain how it changed. The paper size is 297 by 210 and the printable area is 297 by 210. Why? Because we selected the ISO full bleed A4. Next to it is we will change the drawing orientation. In our drawing orientation, we have the options portrait and landscape. In this case, we will select landscape. And then the scale will be 1:1. Later on, actually, we can change this later on with our drawings. And what to plot, you will be asked if you want to plot the display option or window, extents, layout, and window. And in this case, we will plot what's in the layout. So we will select the layout source. And then the rest will be some settings. Say for example, the plot options. If you want to plot objects line weight, all you have to do is to check it. And if you want to also select the plot transparency of each line, you may select this one. And then, if everything is correct and okay, all you have to do is to click OK and then close. Now, as you can see, our default border is gone because we set up our page here or our paper here to ISO full bleed. Again, full bleed, when we say full bleed, the size of the paper is 297 by 210 millimeters. That is an A4 size paper. And the printable area is the same as with our paper size, which is 297 by 210 millimeters. Now, since we set up already our page or our paper, next step or next thing to consider is our drawing, of course. And To view our drawing, all you have to do is to use the viewports command, or we can type in VPORTS for viewports, and then enter. And then you will be asked with these configurations, and then all you have to do is to click OK. And then AutoCAD will ask you here, where is your first corner of your drawing? In some cases, if we have margins or borders here, we have to click those two corners here and there. But in this case, we don't have any margins. Later on, we will have an example with a border with it. But in this case, all we have to do is to make it fit with our paper size. So we can type in here F for fit and then enter. And then as you can see, it gives me the option to view all my drawings in my model space. The same drawings that I have here is the same, or are the same drawings that I have here in my model space. If we will command Z enter, E enter, it will show you all your drawings in your model space. Same as with our layout source here. But just like what I've said, say for example, this is the only drawing that I want to print or plot. So all you have to do is to click here in our model or paper space option here. If it is in paper space, your drawing here will not be affected with what or whichever or whatever you would do with your drawing or your page. But if you want to open these drawings, all you have to do is to click here so that it will be now in the model space. And then all you have to do is to select this drawing here to plot it in our paper here. Now, as you can see, our drawing here is very small. Why? Because it is not scaled 1:1. As you can see here in the lower part here, we have the scale here of the selected viewport. Now, as you can see, it is not 1:1. Now we have the option to have it scaled 1:1. All you have to do is to click this little arrow here. And then it will give us the options of different scales. In this example, we will use 1:1. All you have to do is to click this option and then boom. Now you have 1:1 drawings. You can always change your scale here. Which scale do you want? Or you can have it customized and make a new one. All you have to do is to click here and then add. And then say for example, I will type in here 1:80. Say for example, this 1:80, this will be the name that will appear in your scale list. Of course, we have your scale properties here. One paper unit is equal to how many drawing units? That will be 80. This is just an example. And then if everything is okay, all you have to do is to click OK and then OK. And then as you can see, we have that 1:80 option now here. But we will not use this 1:80 because we want our drawing is 1:1. Going back to our drawing, if we already selected this drawing as our example, all we have to do is to go back in your models or paper space option. click this tab or option, and then it will be now in our paper space. Again, anything that you will do to your drawing or your page will not affect your drawing anymore because we are in the paper space. Now, everything seems fine here. If you want to plot this without the border, you may do so. All we have to do is to command plot and then enter. All you have to do is to click enter or click that option, and then our page setup is done already. So all you have to do is to click OK, or you can have a preview of it. You can click here for a preview. Now if I will hit OK, and then I will be asked where to save my PDF file. Say for example, I will save it in my desktop. I will click the desktop option here, and then say for example, we will change the file name. Say for example, we will name it as sample figure 1. It will be saved as PDF file, and then all you have to do is to save it, and then we now have the PDF file of our drawing right there. Now say for example, I want an A3 size paper. I want to plot this drawing, say for example. So again, first thing I want to do is to delete the existing viewport right there. And say for example, I want a border line in our paper. A while ago, with our A4 paper here, we don't have any border line here. Now in our A3 paper, we will plot it in A3 paper. Say for example, we want a border line here. First, you can make several, you can do this in several ways, but one way in which we can put a border is to make first our rectangle the size of an A3 paper. So we will start with our origin here, which is 0, 0. Now all we have to do first is to make a rectangle as size of our A3 size paper. So the size of our A3 size paper is 420 millimeters by 297 millimeters. Now we have the size of our paper of an A3 size paper, landscape orientation. Now, say for example, I want an offset of 10 millimeters here. All I have to do is to command offset, click in this symbol offset, and then write 10 for your space, offset or offset distance. And then click this line, click inside of our rectangle, same as with this side, and here in this side, and lastly in this side. Now all we have to do is to click this corner. You can use trim, or in this case, or extend, whichever is easier for you. You can also use chamfer if you want, with a 0 distance between. Again, just like what I've said, whichever is easier for you. Then now we have our margin or border here. Now, if you will notice, we don't have yet our drawing here. Again, this is an A3 size paper. If I will go back here in my A3 size layout here, I don't have anything here. It's just my A3 size paper. Now, first thing I want to do is to have the page setup. Command is page setup, enter, and then make sure that it is highlighted here, the A3 layout, and then click modify. Again, just like what we did the first time, all we have to do is to click here the drawing to PDF option, and then next is the paper size. Now we will look for the ISO A3 full bleed. ISO A3 full bleed 420 by 297 millimeters, the size of an A3 size paper. As you can see, we have here 420 by 297 millimeters. And then the drawing orientation is landscape. And then OK. Click OK. Close. Now, our paper here has been changed to A3 size paper. Since our paper here is ready, next will be our drawing. The command will be Viewports or Viewports, and then hit enter. Click OK. And then again, you will be asked, for the first time, you will be asked to specify the first corner. Since we don't have yet our drawing, all we have to do is to click our F here for fit, and then enter. Now, as you can see, we have options here, which one to plot. Now, just like what I've said, we want our paper to have bordings or borders. So we will click this rectangle right here. All we have to do again, click paper for it to be a model space. And then now we can select this rectangle. Now in selecting this object or this rectangle, all you have to do is to Command Z, enter, O for object, and then enter. And then all you have to do is to click this rectangle and then enter. Now as you can see, we have here the extents of our drawing. But as you can see, we have a gap here. As you can see, now we don't want these gaps right here because we want to extend our lines until to the very edge of our paper right here. All we have to do is to adjust the scale of this drawing. So again, we will select the 1:1 here. As you can see, our drawing grew a bit bigger. Now, our drawing or our rectangle is at the edge of our paper right here. With our border here, 10. Offset distance is 10. Now we have our paper and our border. Next thing we want to do is our drawing. Again, for the second time, we want to command Viewports or Viewports and then enter. And then hit OK. Now, unlike the first one, we want to specify our first corner here in this corner of our borderline or margin. Click this point until the next point in the upper right corner of our margin. In this corner, click this corner And then as you can see, again, we will be given this viewport right here. All we have to do is to again change it to model space so we can change or select the drawing that we want. And then you have the option to select which drawing you will plot. Now this time, let's choose this drawing right here. And then as you can see again, it's not in our proper scale. So all I have to do is to click this scale number right here and select 1:1. Now we have here the 1:1 drawing scale. Now everything seems fine. Let's change it again to paper space, I mean. And then now our paper and our drawing is ready to plot. The command will be plot or plot for plot, and then enter. Again, we will be as here, sometimes we'll be as here, or if you don't want to be as like this, do not show me this window again. Continue with a single plot sheet. So everything here in our page setup is done. All we have to do is to click OK. And then again, we will be asked to select a location to save our drawing. In this case, I will select, I want to save it on my desktop. And then, say for example, sample figure number 2. Save it as PDF, of course, and then click Save. Now, we will have a PDF file with our border right here. This is an A3 size paper. And that is how you plot a drawing using a paper source or layout source. Thank you for watching. For more videos like this, you may check out our page or our channel right here. Please like our videos, share with your friends, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell icon so that you will be notified in case we uploaded new videos for you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. See you next video. Bye.